Does your mind wander all day and at the end of the day, you just end up not doing anything? That has happened to me countless times. But over the past year, I've figured out about three things that has helped me become consistent when it comes to publishing on YouTube, this podcast, working with clients, and it has helped me drastically. And in this episode, I want to share these three tips with you guys so that you guys can become consistent in your business. You guys can become consistent when it comes to publishing and promoting as well. So if you want to learn more, listen on. This is episode number 197. All right, so be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And if you are a listener out there, make sure you are subscribed to this podcast. And before I begin, I want to invite you guys to go to this link. It's called thecalmmarketer.co/what are you. Now, if you go to this link, it'll lead you to a question. And the question asks, what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself an entrepreneur, solopreneur, or a freelancer? Now, the reason why I want to know the answer to this question is because I want to slowly mold and build a better podcast for my audience, for you. Now, in order for me to figure out what kind of content to create, I need to know what you guys are. What do you guys consider yourself? Because that will really influence my content moving forward. So help me help you guys. All right. So now today I wanted to talk about consistency. Now for me, it's always been a struggle for me to stay consistent in anything that I do. I'm that personality type that has all these different ideas, all these like, oh, I should do this, I should do that. And then at the end of the day, I just end up not doing anything. Now, has that happened to you guys before? It most likely has. And it's very frustrating. It's so frustrating for me. But over the past year or so, I've learned a few tips and tricks that has helped me stay consistent. It has helped me stay consistent with this podcast, with this new YouTube channel I'm building out, and just with my clients and really delivering for my clients, delivering for you guys. Now, the number one thing that has really helped me stay consistent is writing things down, having a plan of action. Now, it's so important that you know exactly what you are going to do today. It's so important you know exactly what you are going to do this week and the coming month. Because if you do not have a plan of action, you will never do it, right? Your mind will be somewhere else when in fact your mind should be right here and now doing the work. So make sure you are planning things out. So when it comes to YouTube, you need to plan out what you are going to create. Not just in the moment, but you need to plan out a week in advance what kind of videos you want to create and actually create them. So that's my first tip, is to write things down, right? Have a plan of action. Have a plan of action and really write things down to follow through with them. Because it's one thing to have it in your mind. I've noticed that if I put things in paper, then that will just make things so much easier for me to take action. So make sure you have a plan of action and write things down. Now, a little caveat, the other day I downloaded a free PDF from AppSumo. It's called Noah's Favorite Tips from Top YouTubers. So for me, I want to figure out how to grow my YouTube channel. So I found this PDF and it has all of these different tips and tricks on how to grow my YouTube channel. So basically what I'm doing is jotting all of these tips and tricks and having a plan of action of what I should be doing to improve my YouTube videos. All right, so leverage other things, leverage other resources online and actually write them down in terms of what you are going to take out of that resource, right? So for me, it's how to build a better YouTube description, so on and so forth. So it's really making sure you write it down. And the second thing is to focus on the fun things about what you do. So focus on the fun things. Now, why do you want to focus on the fun things? You want to focus on the fun things because that is what drives you. That is what kind of piques your interest, right? So for me, I've been consistent with this podcast because I like learning about new marketing tactics, new marketing strategies. I like reading new articles. I read new articles every single morning to figure out what to speak to you guys about and educate you guys on. And I like to learn how to speak more off the cuff because for me, it's been so hard to really just speak my mind. And it's kind of fun just kind of letting loose and just talking whatever I want to say. And I just focus on the fun things. Now, there's a lot of unfun things, right? Like the technical stuff, like maybe just focusing on the growth numbers. I can honestly tell you that my podcast listeners are not that much, but if I only focus on the raw numbers, then it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun for me, and I probably don't want to do it, right? So only focus on the fun things, focus on the things that you like. Choose your battles, right? So make sure you are doing things and focusing on the things that you like to do because that will really keep you motivated to continue every single day. Okay, so the third thing that I've learned is to ask yourself, what if? Ask yourself, what if? Now, what's so important about this question? This question, when you ask yourself that, it opens up your mind to new ideas. It spurs creativity. When I ask myself, oh, what if I do this? Or what if I do that to improve on my podcasts? Then that'll keep me motivated to continue to try out new things, to continue improving upon my content, right? So it helps me have a mindset of continuous improvement and testing things out, A/B testing things. I'm a marketer at heart, so I love testing things, trying new things out, and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So it keeps things interesting. So you want to make sure you keep things interesting. So always ask yourself, what if? What if I do this? What if I do that to improve on your YouTube channel, for example, right? So always ask that question to keep things exciting and creative. And just looking at, in terms of my YouTube, what I can do to improve, I'm learning so many things about, what if I add a certain element to my YouTube descriptions? What if I update my podcast, or not my podcast, but my YouTube thumbnails, right? I'm also thinking about updating my podcast cover image as well, seeing if that improves my readership. And just all these different things can really, really keep you excited to try new things out. All right. So I know I'm kind of showing you guys this PDF. If you want a free copy of this PDF, just go to thecalmmarketer.co/YouTube tips, thecalmmarketer.co/YouTube tips, and you can go there, grab your free copy. All right, so these are the 3 things that I wanted to share with you and how you guys can stay consistent in your publishing. Now, make sure before you leave this episode to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to this channel. And for all of the listeners out there, I invite you to go to ratethispodcast.com/thecalmmarketer. That's ratethispodcast.com/thecalmmarketer to leave me a rating and review. That would help me greatly and motivate me to continue on. So with that said, I will speak to you guys in the next episode.